There are multiple ways that you can make a trillion in Grow a Garden, but I'm going to tell you how to make any plant and any fruit in your garden right now into worth trillions that you could sell for yourself to become one of the richest players in Grow a Garden. But before that, I am doing a Mimic Octopus giveaway, so if you would want to join that right now, I would recommend you to subscribe right now and like the video and comment down your username to have a chance of winning this Mimic Octopus. But without wasting any more time, guys, let's go on with the video. Now, to make any plant worth trillions inside Grow a Garden, you would firstly need a huge plant. Now, there are many huge plants inside Grow a Garden. Like I have said this in my previous videos, there is the prickly pear where you could make a huge prickly pear just with hedgehogs. Now, let me explain with hedgehogs. You can make a huge and massive prickly pear with just hedgehogs, because if you didn't know, the hedgehogs have this ability where it can basically make any prickly plant so much bigger. And I mean so much bigger because the prickly pear that I said in my last video weighed around 100 to 130 kilograms, not even as a huge version. Yes guys, there is such thing as huge chances. Huge chances are basically this thing where it has a chance to grow over 10 times its regular size. This is how the huge candy blossoms are formed, this is how the huge sunflowers are formed, and this is how huge dragon peppers that makes it worth trillions easily. So guys, you need to get huge plants, and I would recommend you to get either the parasol flower, the prickly pear that I just said, and then candy blossoms, or the dragon pepper, or the sunflower. These 5 plants will literally make you trillions. Now of course there are some other plants like the rosy delight and other more that are very good as well to use for making trillions in Grow a Garden, but if you want to make sure that you make trillions, you would have to get these plants. But of course you wouldn't have to use these plants because there are other methods for you to use to make sure that any fruit in your garden is worth trillions. Now this next method is to use mooncats. Yes, this is a pet in the game which is super overpowered, and I'm gonna tell you why the mooncats is one of the best pets inside the game. The mooncat has this ability where it can grow any fruit much larger. It basically works like the hedgehogs, but it works for every single plant inside Grow a Garden. This is super overpowered, and I would recommend you to use this for yourself because it could literally make any plant that is 60 kg up to 180 kg easily. But there is a bad part about mooncats. Mooncats are not guaranteed for you to grow your plants because it has this certain range, and this certain range is in a green circle where every plant inside that green circle will be affected with the size bonus. Now to the next method that I'm going to be telling you guys is to use sprinklers. Now if you didn't know, there is a sprinkler method in the game. Now yes, a lot of people have heard about this, but the sprinkler method has a right way of doing it, and I'm going to tell you that right now. They often just place basic sprinklers and then advanced sprinklers and then godly and then master, but this is a wrong way of doing that. You could literally make so much more if you place your master sprinkler first and then your godly and then your advanced and then your basic sprinkler. And let me tell you why. If you place your master sprinkler first, then you will literally apply the master sprinkler buff first and then it will be stacked with the godly sprinkler. This is why plants would grow so much more larger if you place the master sprinkler first, then the godly, then the advanced, and then the basic. A ton of players do not know this, and I would recommend you on doing this and trying it out right now. Now aside from sprinklers, the next method that I'm going to be telling you guys is to use mutation sprinklers. Yes guys, there is mutation sprinklers in the game, and currently there is around 3 mutation sprinklers inside the game right now. These 3 mutation sprinklers are the chocolate sprinkler. Now the chocolate sprinkler gives a 2 times multiplier through the chocolate mutation. Now of course guys, you can do this with the mutation spray that, if you didn't know, is also in the crafting table. In the crafting table, you can craft this mutation spray where it will have either chocolate, pollinated, or shocked. And these are 3 important mutation sprays that you should have in your inventory for these large fruits. But aside from the chocolate mutation, there is the honey sprinkler. Now the honey sprinkler is really overpowered and something you would have to use. You can still get this through the summer harvest event, and I would recommend on you to farm this summer harvest event and check this video on the top right of your screen to know how to do the summer harvest event really easily. But anyways, after the honey sprinkler, you will have the last sprinkler, which is totally craftable, which is the flower froster sprinkler. Now the flower froster sprinkler only works for flower plants where it would apply the frozen mutation. Now the frozen mutation is really good good for all plants because the frozen mutation, if you didn't know, gives a 10 times multiplier, which is pretty much the largest multiplier for all types of sprinklers. Now, aside from these sprinklers, you can also get mutations through the weather events. Now, let me talk about weather events. This is what will literally turn a 100,000 value plant worth trillions in Grow a Garden. And I'm gonna tell you this right now to get 2 pets. And I'm gonna recommend you to buy or trade the dragonfly or the butterfly pet. Now, if you don't know how to trade, there are a lot of videos in my channel that if you want to follow, just subscribe right now, because I usually tell you what are the best things to trade right now and what is the best pets to use in trying to get trillions in Grow a Garden. Now, the best pet is the dragonfly and the butterfly because the dragonfly literally applies one of the best mutations, which is gold. And what's even better about this is it can apply the rainbow mutation as well with the butterfly pet. Now, these 2 pets are one of the most overpowered pets inside the game, and I would recommend you to get it because it could literally turn your garden from a dry wasteland into a full rainbow garden because of the butterfly pet. Now, not only this, and I would recommend you to get the disco bee as well. Now, if you didn't know, the disco bee has this ability where it can apply one of the admin mutations, which is something that I will get on later. And then you can trade for the zombie jockey and the cooked owl because you cannot get these anymore. The zombie jockey is only obtainable through the Blood Moon update, and only 1 million players have them. Yes, 1 million players, which means that it is not really that hard to trade for a zombie jockey. If you trade it with the starfish pet that I always say in this update, then you could literally get the zombie jockey really easily. Now, next is the cooked owl. Now, the cooked owl is one of the best pets in the game because the cooked owl allows you to have more XP for all the pets in your garden. And not only this, is it basically applies 2 different mutations. It can apply the cooked mutation or the burnt mutation. Now, the burnt mutation is one of the most trash mutations inside the game, but the cooked mutation has a 10 times multiplier, which I would recommend getting for all your fruits in your garden. And lastly, the bee bear is one of the best pets in order for you to get the honey glazed mutation. If you didn't know, the bee bear is the pet that you can use to get the honey glazed mutation. The other way to get the honey glazed mutation is something that I said a while ago, which is through the honey sprinkler. Now, I would recommend to get all of these pets and on to the next part, which is getting the admin mutations. Now, the admin mutations is what literally takes your 100 billion plant into 1 trillion. Now, let me tell you why. Admin mutations are usually the highest multipliers inside the game. You have the heavenly mutation, which is not that much, but then you have the alienated and the disco and the galactic and every single 100 times multiplier mutation that I would recommend you on getting. I won't really go deeply into this, but if you would want to know which mutations are inside the game, then just wait for my video right now because I will be explaining every single mutation inside the game in probably a couple days. But anyways, I would recommend you to get these admin mutations because they usually would appear right before the update, and that is usually 1 to 2 hours before the update, and he will run around 5 to maybe 10 admin weather events that could literally give you trillions. But if you would want to get one of the admin mutations for free without having to rely on admins, then you would have to get the disco bee. Now, the disco bee is still obtainable right now through the crafting table. You would have to get it through the anti-bee egg, where it is the rarest pet inside the game ever. It has a 0.25% chance to get, and it is really hard for anyone in the whole game to get because it is super rare and super expensive. But this disco bee gives the disco mutation, which is a 125 times multiplier, and I would recommend you to get this because it is super rare. Now, I don't know if I should give away a disco bee again, but I probably will right before the update, so just stay tuned for those videos. And lastly, to make trillions in Grow a Garden, you would need the friend boost. Now, the friend boost is something that you can get inside Grow a Garden if you just have friends inside your server. You can do this either with alt accounts or you can just do it your regular friends inside Roblox. But one thing you probably didn't know is there are 50 player servers inside Grow a Garden. These are usually found in the internet, and I would recommend you to search on 50 player servers because 50 player servers are literally the best way to turn your 1 trillion fruit into 5 trillion. Yes, guys, you can earn 5 trillion off a fruit just from this friend boost. And let me tell you how you can do that. If you join these 50 player servers, you can friend every single one of them, and that will give you a whopping 500% 500% extra multiplier, and 500% is basically 5 times, and that would literally make your 1 trillion into 5 trillion, and you could sell it for trillions, and you can get trillions and upon trillions inside Grow a Garden. Anyways guys, that's how you make 8 trillion just off one fruit inside Grow a Garden. If you would like to watch another video of mine, then just click this video on your screen right now, and until tomorrow's upload, goodbye.